So welcome everybody to today's CESI Talks. CESI Talks is part of our WEP program project, which aims to highlight, say, the benefits also of the European Union. Imagine that there are benefits also, and also in the social sphere for the citizens and the workers. And I'm particularly pleased today to be able to welcome Mrs. Dubravka Šuica. Mrs. Dubravka Šuica is, I hope I pronounce it correctly, Vice President of the European Commission, and very importantly, I think also she's leading the Commission's work on deliberative democracy and the conference on the future of Europe. Mrs. Šuica, welcome.
Good afternoon.
Šuica, you've been a member and Vice President of the European Commission since 2019. Before that, an MEP, and now you look back at a crazy year, longer than a year. What strikes you most in these times, and maybe looking a little bit ahead, about the importance of the EU in general? How did it fare well? Where did it maybe do less well?
Thank you for your question. This pandemic has been a crisis that is unprecedented in its nature and in its impact, and it has affected the lives of every single one of us here in Europe, but also everywhere in the world. So, as you know, it affects our health, our economies, our societies, the way we interact with each other. And in all this, I have two main takeaways. First, the crisis has shown that we need each other in Europe and that we are stronger when we act together. And without European Union, we would be all in a very different place now. We managed to secure essential cross-border traffic of goods and people. We procured large quantities of vaccines and, in fact, massively helped the vaccine development in the first place. We also put in place an unprecedented recovery instrument for European Union, Next Generation EU, worth 750 billion euros, with which we support each other in coming out of this crisis stronger. Also, instruments like the European Union temporary support to mitigate unemployment risks in an emergency, also known as SURE, helped member states in supporting short-time work and thereby protect many jobs across the European Union. And secondly, we have to be honest with ourselves on what worked and what still needs to be improved. Getting to some of those solutions that I mentioned has not been so straightforward. Think about the impact of unilateral border closures, for example. But I'm confident and positive by nature. We have shown that by standing together, we are stronger in a crisis, and we will remember this, and we will, I'm sure, draw the lessons the next time we are put to the test. And next time will come.
Yeah, I'm sure so too. Ms. Šuica, CESI represent workers mainly in the public sector. You mentioned SURE. What are the social achievements of the EU in the past? And basically a very general question, is it an advantage, according to you, to be a worker in the European Union?
I mentioned earlier that this pandemic has affected and tested the resilience of our societies and how we live and interact together. This has been a difficult test for many at a personal and also at a professional level. But despite this, we can be proud and rely on the social achievements we have made before this pandemic and how we have evolved throughout. In Europe, we have some of the most advanced social protection systems in the world that have served as a buffer, be it with regard to ensuring quality healthcare or protection against unemployment. At European level, European Pillar of Social Rights serves as our common compass in this area, and I'm happy that recently at the Social Summit in Porto, the European Council confirmed its commitment to the pillar and to working on its implementation. What does it mean? What does this mean concretely? By 2030, we want to achieve that at least 78% of the population between 20 and 64 is in employment. And also, what is very important, 60% of all adults should participate in training every year by 2030, having in mind that we live longer. and we aim to reduce the number of people at risk of poverty or social exclusion by at least 15 million. And for me, this means that workers in Europe benefit from advanced social protection schemes. They have the chance to train throughout their careers, and I'm sure that no one should feel left behind.
Ms. Schulka, you're co-chairing the executive board and leading the Commission's work on the conference on the future of Europe. What do you expect? What are the results you would expect, and how far is it different from the 2002 convention, according to you?
I see the conference on the future of Europe as a truly historic moment and a unique occasion for us Europeans. For the first time, we are bringing citizens at the core of the debate on the future of Europe, and we are giving them a greater say, a voice, so that policymakers can better respond to citizens' concerns and ambitions. And this will strengthen our democracy. So this conference has opened a new space for a pan-European debate with citizens to address challenges. Citizens from all walks of life and every corner of the Union can participate, I usually say from mountains to islands, with young Europeans playing a central role. A participatory process at this scale is something that we have never done at European level, so it's different from the convention, and the tools we put in place are innovative. We launched a multilingual digital platform which allows for the first time citizens and organizations to share ideas, to organize events, and to hold transnational debates in all European Union languages. As from September, 4 European citizens panels composed of randomly selected citizens will meet to propose recommendations based on the ideas shared on this platform. And we will also have plenary sessions where citizens, representatives of social partners, civil society, and elected representatives at all levels will for the first time deliberate together. So this conference is a bottom-up process with citizens at the core at all stages. Hence, this is very different in nature to the 2002 convention, to answer your question. So my hope and ambition for this conference is that we manage to get as many people as possible engaged in this, and that we establish a true European dialogue and exchange on our common future. With the conclusions in spring next year, I'm committed to follow up on the conference and see it through. So to see this through, for example, in making necessary proposals at Commission level. So I cannot tell you anything about the results at this moment, but we are just at the beginning of the process.
Vice President, let me just say with one more question at the conference. This has been certainly highly discussed, intensively discussed also. What are the opportunities? What are the risks? Because if we speak of the conference on the future of Europe, this sounds, wow. And do we maybe raise too much expectations? Are there reasons to be positive? I was just referring, that 2 or 3 years ago, there was this consultation on changing the clock. Do you remember? I don't know how many citizens and associations participated, and now we are still, let's say, in some kind of limbo. Do you see certain risks there? How could I say that we could disappoint, or that the citizens as such could be disappointed?
There is a risk always, but we are aiming at the success. So already in 2019 European elections, citizens sent a very clear signal. So there was the increase in turnout, and this reflects the interest that European citizens have in playing a more active role in the future of the Union and our policies. In an increasingly connected world, the period between elections becomes also more important. So citizens are willing to engage more and more often, not only every 4 or every 5 years. So the conference responds to this call. One of the main challenges is to reach out those that perhaps would usually not want to engage with us, or those who have less possibilities to engage, or including children or older persons. And we should not shy away from engaging with those who are critical of the European project. Moreover, the conference success will be measured on the concrete and tangible measures which will follow. This is the difference from the convention. So the European Parliament, the Council and the Commission have all committed to this process in our joint declaration. So with the help of national parliaments, regional and local authorities, civil society, social partners, I am confident that we will be able to follow up on the conclusions of the conference. So what I underlined from the beginning was that we should not preempt the outcome of this process. Otherwise, what is the point in discussing with citizens? This is a question we should ask ourselves. So I think without predetermining the outcome, this will be the success in the end, and with follow-up and of course feedback mechanism.
Vice President, if you would respond to the following question, how would you close it? An EU that delivers results and an EU which is close to its citizens is not a contradiction because?
Because delivering means being close to citizens and understanding and responding to their ambitions and concerns. Earlier in my career, before coming to European Union institutions, I was the mayor of my hometown Dubrovnik in Croatia. So as a mayor, you need to do both. You need to be close and approachable to citizens, and you need to deliver very concrete results in response to their everyday challenges. So you need to make a visible difference in their life. This is something that still drives me today in my role as Vice President of the European Commission. So for me, delivering tangible results and being close to citizens go hand in hand. They are two sides of the same coin, also at the European level. So this is my reply to your question.
Speaking of visible difference and of trade unions, Sesi, we represent independent trade unions. How do you see the importance of trade unions, maybe before, but particularly during the crisis and beyond the crisis?
I'm a firm believer in the value of social dialogue and in the broader role of the social partners in voicing the interest of European workers and employers on the challenges ahead of us. So social dialogue is an essential part of unique European social model. And I have to mention President von der Leyen has stressed her commitment to this. In times of economic crisis, a well-functioning social dialogue becomes even more important to develop and implement balanced solutions to create conditions for a sustainable recovery. So the coronavirus pandemic has only increased the need for a recovery that is socially just and fair, and again, leaving no one behind. So you play an important role in this.
A final word to the conference on the future of Europe, and Sesi, what would you expect from us as independent trade unions? What role we are willing to step in? We're willing to how could I say, to show the process, to bring the process close to our members. What is your view on that?
I'm glad that you are asking this question, because the success of the conference on the future of Europe does not just depend on European Union institutions. So it depends on our ability to engage with citizens across Europe. Trade unions play an important role. So you can make a difference by engaging actively in the conference, mobilizing your members, and helping to reach out as widely as possible. In the Commission, we have recognized the central role of social partners from the very start of this endeavor. As we plan to organize events in partnership with civil society and stakeholders at European, national, regional, and local level, we rely on your support and enthusiasm in cooperation with your members, with civil society, with local and national authorities to contribute to the success of the conference by helping to organize events and reach out widely. So I very warmly invite Sesi to be part of this endeavor. And I look forward to seeing your events announced on our multilingual digital platform and reading and hearing your feedback and contributions to the debates. So this is of utmost importance for us.
Mr. Šuica, Mrs. Vice President, many thanks to you. All the best. Good luck. Stay safe still in these times, and a lot of success for the years to come. Thank you.
Thank you for your interest in our portfolio. Thank you for cooperation and looking forward to our cooperation, at least during this conference, but also later on during mandate. Thank you.
Goodbye. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.